Okay, so Josh Giddey is just backpedaling right here. He has no chance of guarding Devin Booker by doing so. Stop. So Josh Giddey's got to get up here. Jalen Williams is going to have to get into the gaps, and you got to play on Devin Booker's side. You got to force him here where this player can stunt with his feet set. He'll never be able to give up a three-pointer. But Josh Giddey's going to try and guard Devin Booker one-on-one. Well, you gave that opportunity up when you decided to backpedal. Okay, so we have a block shot right here. Stop. So why is Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and Jalen Williams both jogging back? Why are you not sprinting back? Look at this. How? This should not be a 3-on-2. Down screen, especially with Kevin Durant coming off this down screen. You got to get attached to your man with your arms out. Kevin Durant cannot curl. You got to force him out. This player can get over the screen in time. You gave this player no time to get over this screen. Okay, I mean, when Kevin Durant is posting you up right here, like, you've got to be initiating contact. Like, you have got to be battling for positioning. You can't just allow... Look at this. You're not doing any battling for positioning. All you're doing is letting him back you down and back you down. It's too low now. I mean, if you're Luguentz Dort, this can't happen. Why? On a baseline out of bounds, you obviously have to stay underneath your man. Look at this. So, now this draws a double team. What is Dario Saric doing? What is taking him so long? Get up and guard. What is happening? Okay, if you're trapping right here, stop. Okay, so this trap here, someone's got to rotate up here. Okay, so so that has to happen. That does not happen. And then Cameron Payne, when he cuts here, this player's got to rotate here. You just can't let when you trap and it's this easy to pass out of, then you're in trouble. This is a disaster. The Thunder were just doubling Kevin Durant. So, again, this player rotates here. This player has to rotate here. Dario Saric, why is he standing here? You're triple teaming Kevin Durant? So Dario Saric needs to fly over here now, and this player comes here. But these rotations are a disaster. It was a great sign that they were when Dario Saric was just standing. Don't stand and stare at the shot, all right? So this Thunder player... Dario Saric. These three Thunder players should be sprinting back right now. If you have too many people just staring at the shot, transition defense. Okay, so if Dario Saric is going to play on Kevin Durant's side, you got to get up and make sure, because a double team's coming, you got to make sure he comes into this double team. So you got to really get up here, because you can't, like, you're playing off right now, so now you're just giving him space. Okay, there's a lot that is wrong with what Jalen Williams is doing here. We'll just stick to this terrible gamble. Like, try and guard the ball. Like, when you gamble here, you're totally out of the play. Jalen Williams, you can't drop this far and drop coverage right here. Like, you can get up. If your feet are set, you're in a defensive stance. You can still guard the ball and slide over. You have gap help right here from Josh Giddey. But, I mean, you're just backpedaling right now, and this is Devin Booker, and that's not how it should be. Under in a zone, this cannot happen. If you're Luguentz Dort, you are guarding this player here. So, because this player is going to have to get out to the corner, and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is going to have to come here. Look at this, you have two people guarding the ball right now. I mean, just like in man-to-man, when two people guard one, that means someone's open. If you're Luguentz Dort on this inbound pass, like, you have no excuse here. Get your feet set in a defensive stance, so when Devin Booker catches his ball, you can guard. Look at Luguentz Dort. You're not in a defensive stance. Look, you're climbing uphill. So you're going uphill as Devin Booker's going downhill. If you're Luguentz Dort, just get your feet set in a defensive stance, okay? This is a problem when you're gambling or trying to make Chris Paul pick up this dribble early. Look at that. So you just gambled, and now you're beat. I mean, that's really a tough thing to do. Okay, Kevin Durant is coming off of this down screen right here. Jalen Williams has got to get attached to his man with his arms out so Kevin Durant can't curl. You force him out, and this player's time to get over the screen. You give this player no time to go over the screen, and it's Kevin Durant. Get organized in transition. If this player is taking the ball, Luguentz Dort needs to come here. Why is Luguentz Dort going to the ball? What is this Thunder player doing? You have to keep Kevin Durant in front of you, obviously. Battle for position here. Like, look at this. How do you let Kevin Durant not... Look, that's unbelievable. What's Jalen Williams doing? Why are you crowding Devin Booker with your hand on his hip? Play off. Get in a defensive stance with your feet set. This is absurd. Look at this. This is essentially you gambling right here. So again, now you're going uphill as Devin Booker's going this way. This is atrocious one-on-one defense. Dario Saric and you're in drop coverage. You need to get your feet set in a defensive stance. You've got, like, what you're doing here, just backpedaling and backpedaling. This is Devin Booker. Horrendous ball screen defense. So this Thunder player is, one, already anticipating a screen. And if you're going under, you can't make contact with the screener. Look at this Thunder play. You make contact with the screener. You're done. Devin Booker's already on the other side. So now that forces two people to go to the ball, which would never happen when you go under a screen. Bad switch. You got to get up, level to the screener, ready to guard Chris Paul when he comes off the screen. This player is in no position to guard Chris Paul as he comes off the screen. Terrible gamble. It is one thing to front the post. It is a totally different thing when you're gambling like this. Now you're not going to be able to get to Kevin Durant. It's just... Chris Paul is taking a while here, so you have a chance to get your feet set in a defensive stance. You can't backpedal guarding Chris Paul. Look at your back. Your feet are never set, so you're playing off your back foot as Chris Paul's going downhill right now. Again, if you're in drop coverage here, you've got to get your feet set and in a defensive stance. You got to be able to guard the ball and also be able to slide over to DeAndre Ayton. All you're doing right now is backpedaling. So you have, if this pass was made, you'd have no chance of getting over. So that forces a backside defender to have to step up, and that's going to leave the corner open. Okay, there's a lot of things that Shai Gilgeous-Alexander's doing wrong here. We will just point out this one is that he's anticipating a screen. Look at how he's anticipating a screen. There was no screen. You could just guard Chris Paul. But instead, now you can't. That forces drop coverage late, which means a backside defender has to come late, and Kevin Durant is open again. Okay, I'm sure Shai Gilgeous-Alexander doesn't have much experience as the drop man and drop coverage off of a pick and roll, but you have to have your feet set. You have to be in defensive stance. You got to be able to guard the ball and be able to shift over to DeAndre Ayton. You'll have help in the gaps right here. But again, look at Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. You're going uphill right now. How on earth are you going to be able to shift over? Okay, the Thunder are trapping right here. You've got to deny these players one pass away. If a skip pass is made here, we can easily rotate. But once this pass gets made, now everybody's one pass away, and the Suns have numbers. Again, you got to get your feet set. You got to be in a defensive stance. You can't backpedal on Chris Paul. Like, this is, you're done. You're backpedaling right now. Look at this. So now he's going to be able to get you in the air because you're backpedaling right there. Boom. Now he gets this three off.